In today's video, we're going to be looking at what I learned from spending $117,753 and 55 cents on Facebook ads. A lot of the topics that we're going to discuss today, I've spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money getting it wrong. So I want to help you guys as much as possible not make the same mistakes I did. That would be good, right? That would be good. So if you are interested in this sort of content, make sure you are subscribed with your notifications turned on. Let's get into the video straight away. So welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you're not. My name is Jonny Bradley. I'm founder of the Seller Pro Academy, where we help ordinary people create extraordinary things, just one product at a time. And as part of that business, I run Facebook ads, I run Google ads, I run ads. In fact, I've spent hundreds of thousands on Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Amazon ads, all sorts of advertising. Advertising is the biggest outlay of all of my businesses is ads. And then that's closely followed by tax. So I have 5 things that I've learned that are really, really important. And a lot of these came from making some horrendous mistakes. So let's go through them now. Now on Facebook alone, I've spent a huge amount of money on my current ad account. I think it's around $97,000, something like that. I think I'll throw up a screenshot. It's in pounds for me, 70 something thousand pounds, which is about 90 something thousand dollars. You might be thinking, whoa, that's not $117,000. However, in the second point, I'm going to explain where the rest of that went. The first thing you need to understand is that creative is key. And what we mean by creative is the ad itself, the video or the picture or the text, the copy, the headlines, the creative, anything that you have to create to make the ad. The misconception with creative is that you can put out a few ads, you make 3 or 4 ads and then you start making money, you find out which one is best, and all of a sudden you can scale that ad. And that honestly couldn't be further from the truth. What happens in reality is if you want to be able to get good results, so if I show you the ad account at the moment, I'll take a screenshot and I'll throw it up on the screen. So out of the 78,000, just over 78,000 pounds, that's brought back in about 250,000 pounds return on investment. So that's about a 3x ROI, which is pretty healthy. It's pretty good. But if we do look into some of these, if I was to organize by return on investment, some of them have 35 ROAS, 600 spent, 21,000 made back. Or even this one here, £1,300 spent, 17,000 made back. So some of the return on investment is very, very large, and some of them are very, very small, and a lot of them are negative. They lose money. So that's something we get into. In reality with creatives, you don't just make 3 or 4 different ads and then suddenly find a winner. You will be testing everything. That comes down to the ad creative, and you're going to have to do a lot of them because they get ad fatigue after a certain amount of time. The ads just aren't going to work as well. You need to test the headlines, you need to test the copy, the call to actions, the first line, the long or short copy, the thumbnail, the type of ad you're doing, the demographics, and it goes on and on and on and on. There's so many variables to running Facebook ads that you have to be able to test everything. Absolutely everything. A lot of those ads aren't going to work. A lot of them are not going to make you any money. For example, if we scroll down on ROAS, and you can see once we get into the 1 return on investment, okay, so I won't be making money on these. If it's 1 return on investment, I'll be losing money just because obviously it costs money to run a business. For the book that I sell, which is like a free plus shipping model, then a 1 return on investment, I lose a ton of money on that. But if we go down, we can look here, I've spent a whole bunch of money, thousands. This one here, 1,700, I'll try and throw this up on the screen. 1,700 spent, 13 made back, but it's a 0.8 return on investment. So it's, it's losing money on that. And a lot of these ads that aren't performing are the same videos or the same pictures that have done really well on other different campaigns or ad sets. The difference is that the variation has not performed. So it might be the audience, it might be the copy, the headline, the thumbnail. It could be so many different things, but this particular version didn't convert and lost money on it, but another one obviously did really well. So you need to run these tests to get enough data to be able to make these decisions. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand about running Facebook ads or any ads for that matter. It's all about data and being able to cast a net, get as much data as you can, and use that data to make decisions about how you're going to optimize and move forward. My big tip for creative is focus on scroll stoppers. So what I'll do is I'll throw up on screen, I might even play these. For example, one of my best scroll stoppers I will throw up on the screen just here. Let's get rid of that, that's my orange hydrofuel. And this was simply just a picture of me upside down holding my book. The copy is very, very short, but this was tested with long copy, short copy, different headlines, different call to actions, so many different things this was tested with, but it was a scroll stopper. And this ad came to me, I think I saw a similar ad, I can't remember who it was by or whatever, but I saw something where it was upside down. It might have just been a meme. And I was like, that stopped me from scrolling on Instagram. And I thought, okay, cool, we can make that into an advert and just see how it performs. It's all about testing. And I didn't know if it was going to work, didn't know if it was going to make money or lose money, but it was like, okay, this stopped me scrolling. So let me just see if it stops other people scrolling. And it did. Got so many comments on this advert or variations of this advert saying, brilliant scroll stopper, like really great marketing. And it was. One thing that I always do, and I recommend that you do too, is when you're scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, or you're on YouTube, whenever you get stopped by an advert, whenever you stop something, not even an advert, just a picture, think to yourself, why am I stopping? Why have I stopped scrolling? Because the key with ads is to stop someone scrolling. The hardest thing is to stop that scroll. And then obviously you've got to keep their engagement and have them convert to what you want to do. But if you can't stop someone from scrolling, you're never going to have the chance to be able to market to them. The second thing that I learned is rejections, approvals, and ad account bans. So Facebook have guidelines about what ads you can and cannot run. Now, when I started running ads at the beginning, I'd never looked at Facebook ads policies ever. I just ran ads and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to write whatever I want and put whatever I want in the call to action, in the headline, in the advert itself, in the video, and on my web page, I'm just going to say what I want. I quickly found out that you can't do that. If you want to know Facebook's policies for ads, then I've put the link down in the description. And I had my first ad account banned, and I probably spent around $20,000 on that ad account, and it was banned. I lost all the data, which means your pixel data you can't retrieve, all your testing, everything, you just can't get that data back, is gone. You can't retarget people, you can't do anything, you cannot use that ad account. And it was so devastating and so horrible. It was just a horrible moment when I thought, I've spent all this money, because essentially what you're doing with ads is you're paying for data. You're paying Facebook for their data so you can leverage it and then make money from it. And I lost all the data that I had. So obviously I went to read Facebook's ad policy and continue to read it quite a lot now. Now in this particular niche, so info products, not e-commerce products, but in this particular info products niche, then what is very, very tricky is the positioning of what you're trying to say, because I'm talking about making money from Amazon, all the stuff that I talk about on my channel. And quite often Facebook will see that as multi-level marketing. So they'll flag things up as multi-level marketing, even though they're not. It doesn't matter, they're just flagged like that anyway. If you use particular keywords, if you have something on your web page, so the actual page that people go to, Facebook will look at that page, and if there's something in their headline which they don't like, then they will stop that ad from performing. They'll stop that ad from displaying. They may even stop your whole ad account and ban your whole account. They can even ban you from running ads. So you personally, you can't run ads. So after the first time I got banned, I decided that I'd learn my lesson. There's a whole bunch of things that you just cannot do. One of the things that I'd really look at is making claims. So it doesn't matter what the product is. As soon as you start to make claims about what the product will do, then you're in a very risky place with Facebook. Make sure that you're reading their advertising guidelines and make sure that you are squeaky clean. So I would say regularly check the guidelines and make sure that your ads align to those guidelines, and which is what I do all the time. The next thing is about keeping your account organized. Now, this may seem like a really boring topic. When you're starting, you're running a handful of ads and you think, I know exactly what each one of these ads are. However, when you start running multiple ads, multiple offers, and you're retargeting and you're testing, then you might have tens or even hundreds of campaigns, definitely ad sets and ads. There's just tons and tons of data. So you need naming conventions. I wish I started naming conventions from day one. You know, I'm sure I've thrown up some screenshots as I've been talking. You'll see the naming conventions are all over the place. Some of them just named really badly. Now I actually use naming conventions. So I'll throw up on the screen one example. So I might have SPA, webinar reg, conv, which is conversion, hot, didn't register, short copy, and then the date. So what this stands for is SPA Seller Pro Academy webinar registration. So it's an ad that is going to the webinar registration page. It's a conversion advert. It's hot, so this is retargeting people. So this is going to people that went to the page and didn't register using the didn't register ad, when that's what it's called. It's the short copy version of that. We have also a long copy version, medium copy version. It's a short copy, and the date it was last changed. The reason why this is so important is that you are going to forget which ads are what. 100%. Once you're running, a substantial amount of money on ads, you are going to forget everything about which each ad is. So you need to know when you last changed it, you need to know the advert, you need to know the type of ad you're running, you need to know the audience, you need to know what the product is or the offer is, all within that campaign title. So when you're starting running ads, create a naming convention and stick to it. I now actually do ASMR, so yeah. Obviously you want to hit the thumbs down button if you hate me, and if you like me, hit the thumbs down button, because that leads me on to the fourth topic, which is going to be ads are useless. Your ads are not going to work if your website doesn't convert. If you don't have a good offer, if you have a bad website, you had bad copy, it's just not going to work for you. You are not going to make money with ads if the website isn't on point. If you don't have a good product, if you don't have good testimonials, if you don't have a good website, it is not going to work. So the first thing you need to do is have a high converting website. And believe me, this is way harder than people make it out to be online. Honestly, it's way, way, way harder. So I'm going to show you an example. I'll throw up some figures from the book funnel. I'll just take like a week's worth or 2 weeks worth, I don't know, whatever this is, because I've got it down here. So as you can see here, about 450 people visited the website. There was a bit 600 page views, about 450 people, and about 10%, 11% of those people opted in to get the book. And that's quite a high conversion rate. A 10% conversion rate for an opt-in for a book is pretty good. I've looked at obviously different industry standards, people that do free plus shipping books. 10% is really quite good. Then there's an order bump, and normally it doesn't show it here, but that's about a 30 to 40% opt-in rate. So out of the people that buy the book, about 30-40% of the people want the audiobook, the ebook, and the training that comes along with it. Then I have a offer which is $67, and around 10% of people take that. Now 10% for me is quite low. This can be 20-25% normally. So I've obviously been doing some optimization, I've been doing some testing, and it's not worked. So I need to figure out, okay, well, how come I was being able to get 20-25% conversion before, and now it's at 10%? What's going wrong? Is it the ads that I'm running? Is it more people opting in for the free book, but they're just not taking the upsells? So even that one tiny little difference will take weeks of testing to try and increase. I then added on a downsell recently. So I think I tested this out. So the people that don't take that first offer, then they get downsold, and 28% of people are taking that, which is really, really good. And then I have a second offer, which is a higher amount. I'm really shooting for around 5% for this. So at the moment, you can see on this, it's not really enough data. It's 6.9%. So I was looking at the wrong column for this whole thing. That was similar. If you do want to get my book and help me with these figures, the link is in the description. So I really want OTO2 to be around 5% or so. So it's not performing that. It has performed at 5% in the past. So again, it'll be some tweaking as to, well, how can I get that? Now, the reason why I'm showing you this, the reason why I'm telling you this is really complicated. You know, I've had my book out for quite a substantial amount of time now. I think I released it maybe October, maybe November last year. And it's really hard to get numbers. Some numbers will increase and others will decrease. And that's going to have a direct impact on how your ads perform, because it's all about how much money you can spend. So let me put this into perspective by talking about some of these numbers. Forgive me, because I am reading off of my piece of paper. If 10% of my traffic converts, and the average cart value is around $35, which is what it's at currently, and which is quite high, by the way. $35 average cart value is really good for a funnel like this. If I then send 5,000 people to the page, not just 5,000 random people, 5,000 people that I'm targeting through ads, then I should make around $17,000 in gross revenue from that. Out of that, there's going to be a lot of fulfillment costs, because actually these are very expensive to create, ship, and just generally run. It is actually quite expensive. But the key to this is not these numbers, right? It's not these numbers. About 10% of the people that buy my book end up enrolling in my Seller Pro Academy, in my full academy, which is more expensive. About 10%. So if I send 5,000 people to this page, 500 of them purchase the book and whatever upsells they want. 50 of those people should enroll into my course. So that means that my average cart value is not $35, or the lifetime value of my customer is not $35. It becomes more like $154. Once you work on that scale, I know that I can spend, $100 to sell a book at a loss. So I can give Facebook $100. They can find me someone that buys the book, and eventually then ascends to the training program, to the course, and I made money. What I know now, on average, for every customer that comes through, that I could potentially generate around $150 per person. Now, it doesn't work like that because the time that people convert from the book to the course could be months, or it could be days. So it's very, very hard to exactly see the exact lifetime value of every single customer. But once you can understand how much you can spend to acquire a customer, you then become very powerful at ads. For example, if there is an ad for the book that's converting at $50 per purchase, so it's costing me $50 to sell this book, but I'm only making, $35 average from that person, you say, okay, that is a loss. I'm losing money on those ads. However, if you look at the lifetime value of those people that buy the book, it actually comes about to 154, in which case that ad becomes profitable over its lifetime. Now, the key is with ads is that whoever can spend the most normally wins. If you know that it takes 3 months to get your return on investment, then you can actually run ads in this way. However, if your website doesn't convert and you're not able to get these numbers and figure out where people are buying, how much they're buying, and how much you're spending to acquire those customers, then you're not going to be able to scale ads. You're not going to be able to run ads. You're not going to be able to spend a lot, and you certainly won't be able to be profitable at it. So you need to understand your numbers, whatever business that you're running, and you need to keep tweaking the numbers to try and increase them just 1% at a time. Just try and increase them just by 1% to increase that average cart value, because then you can run ads more efficiently. Once you know what you can make, you can then know what you can spend. So run tests, run more tests, and then continue running tests until you then have more tests to run. Tests. So if you've got to this point in the video, thank you. I hope you have enjoyed it. I want to know if you've enjoyed this content. It's a little bit different to the normal content I do on my channel, but it's something that I'm very interested in. I spend a lot of time obviously doing this. You can see that. And I do have a couple more videos, particularly within Facebook ads, that I want to put out that's coming soon. But I do want to put a call out there. What do you guys want to know regarding things like ads or anything else within my business? I could do the same for YouTube ads. I could do the same for Amazon ads. So if you're an existing subscriber, I want to know, do you find this valuable? Do you want to know more? If you're a new subscriber, and if you're not a new subscriber and you're not subscribed already, then you need to subscribe. Otherwise, I'm going to be annoyed and extremely sad. Do the subscribe, do the notifications. So let me know down in the comments if you have any requests, or you want me to talk about this, or you just find it enjoyable, or if you just hate me and you just want me to die. That is it for today's video. Make sure you're subscribed with your notifications turned on, and remember, you're just one product away. Bye-bye.
Do you like running Facebook ads?